7.3 and 7.7. So that's GPS speed. That's our boat speed. That's the true wind speed. That's our apparent wind speed. Mighty ship going along quite nicely. Full main. And a sail we haven't had out in a very long time. Our big code 0E thing. So, where did we leave off last time? Well, we looked at the whole back end of the boat and the cockpit. So now let's look a bit more in the middle of the boat and up on the deck and look at what this boat has, what it had, and where we'd like to change it. Alright, so let's start at the back end of the middle of the top. We touched on it before. It's the hard top extension. So you can see there's our solar panels. Actually, I'm just sitting there because I want to do the upgrade and I can't bring myself to glue these ones on there yet, but I'll probably have to glue these ones on until I can get the nice lightweight semi-rigids. You'll see in the middle a big sunroof, moonroof, sliding hatch, whatever million words you want to call it. For this situation, in this boat, absolutely amazing and absolutely essential. We can't operate the boat properly without that huge big hatch there. That's our window to our mainsail and our rig while we're actually sailing around. And when you're controlling the sails, particularly while you're reefing, having that hatch open to have full view of what's going on is critical. Here you can see our temporary plastic flappy thingy for when it rains here in the Caribbean, for keeping the rainwater from coming in the front. Very glamorous, not. So let's move further forward. Here's the cabin top. It's a blister style, was the common word for it. It's very rounded, very sleek, aerodynamic, whatever you want to call it, and it looks pretty cool for most people. There's a love-hate relationship with it. One, I love it because it's low windage. It's lightweight, and as far as performance goes, this is a really good option. As far as living's concerned, there's quite a few compromises. You'll see there's shades on the windows. These shades need to live on the windows most of the time, particularly here in the tropics, because the sun comes down straight through windows and makes it very bright and very sunny inside, and it warms it up a little bit. So you don't actually get to use the windows for what they're best for being, and that's windows. And these are the flashy super yacht covers so that you can see outside through them, all the rest of it, but still it's not the same as not having the shades on. The other issue with having the shades on is they sometimes fall off or you take them off half, don't put them back on properly, and then they blow off, and you know, it's just another hassle to worry about. But you know, that's the trade-offs that we play. These are plastic windows. Now the joys of plastic windows: one, they're really nice and lightweight. Two, they're not too expensive. But the issue is, you'll see there, it's not so see-through anymore. They craze and they crack with age. And they go to cack. That is the downside. And these nice curvy windows mean that forming the plastic is just another piece of the puzzle. Some people say you don't have to with these, it's a gentle enough curve. Others argue no, you have to. I'm yet to do this corner window to see whether you need to thermally form it or not. The front ones here you don't. The curve is definitely gentle enough that the acrylic bends and accommodates for the curve, so that's all good. And sealing these windows, well, you would have seen the whole video that we did gluing these suckers in, and to be honest, that MS sealant, awesome, has been flawless in the Caribbean sun here for a year and a bit now. Not even a hint of movement or debonding or UV issues or anything. Haven't even thought about these windows that we've glued in. Been awesome, absolutely awesome. The front hatch windows are crucial, absolutely so necessary, these hatches in the front window. Life inside there without those would be horrendously horrible. The amount of airflow these things push through that cabin there is absolutely amazing. We've got the two on the front, and we have the one on one side over here. And you'll ask, why is there not one on the side over here? Well, we'll have to leave that for when we do a walkthrough inside. But the short story is our nav station is there. And if you've been in a boat, you'll know why you don't want a hatch and a nav station in the same place. We have forward-facing hatches on the forward bunk, the toilet, and the midships bunk. And then there's, in the aft bunk, there's a transverse opening one out there. And the airflow through this thing is absolutely awesome. No, not flush deck, not nice and clean and sleek, but it doesn't have the same leaking issues, breaking issues, not draining issues that the flush ones do. The flush ones are good, but they come with a whole world of problems of their own. So just because you got flush hatches doesn't mean you got a good thing. It just comes with new problems. These hatches are original, so they're 32 years old now. They're doing well. They are very, very tired, however. All the springs and that aren't working as well anymore, but they close. We can still get spare parts for them, and we can keep the water out 90% of the time when people close the hatch dogs properly. Working forward, we have 4 lockers at the base here. We have a diesel tank inside of this locker. Oh, and there's our diesel filler there. As you can see, full to the brim. This is the kids' fun locker. This is the one with all the kids' toys. So it's got the snorkeling gear, the fins, the little boogie boards, and whatever toys the kids play with. And you can see in there's actually a big stainless steel tank. Very accessible. I've actually had those stainless steel tanks out to flush and clean diesel bug out of them. Well, certainly that one on this side and the other side. Move along to the next one. Here's our anchor locker. Nice big space. Anchor, chain, all the rest of it. You can see the anchor chain gadget thingy for the sock. So this actually twists and comes out so that I can, oops, there you go, that comes out, and I can actually put the whole sock, chain and anchor and everything away when we're doing longer passages. So I don't have 25 kilos of anchor and 10 kilos of chain hanging off the bow. Clutches for the tack line and the 3-to-1 for the staysail. This is The red one there is the furling line. There's a few funny jiggles to get up onto the cabin top. Then we have the rope locker with the blow up fenders. Blow up fenders, oh my goodness. If you haven't got blow up fenders, go and buy them. Especially on a performance multi where weight and space is critical. Absolute must have. We had these ones donated from a super yacht. They're huge and will never ever ever go back to a small fender ever again. These things are absolutely amazing. Totally changes the way you think about docking. But yeah, under all here is actually piles and piles and piles of rope. Not the lightest option, but we didn't know how far away we would be from things, so and being a bit of a stringy type person, we got a big rope locker, and in this one, this is the boom boom locker. This is where all our flammables are, and you can get a better look at the diesel tank. Diesel tank has a sight glass. All the tanks in this boat are stainless steel with sight glasses, diesel and water. There are senders on all of them as well, but if anything goes wrong, you literally come out, open a hatch, you look in there, and you can see how much diesel you got. Same with our water tank. You can just go in and have a look if our sender's not working. But yeah, all our dinghy fuel, oils for the two-stroke, oils and filters and fillers and hoses and things for dealing with moving oils and fuels and stuff around in the boat. Oh, and under the white thing there is a small generator that we used for our crossing when we were fully shaded with the solar panels, and I think we used it once here in the Caribbean during the summer when we had a full week and a bit of rain and weren't able to produce enough power with our solar alone, so we had to pull that out. But nice little spare backup that came with the boat. Then of course everybody knows that on the front end here, this whole front beam longeron replacement, the nets, this completely transformed the front end and how the boat gets used. The difference that this made to this boat was, oh, I can't explain how good it is. The ability to carry a trinket, staysail, storm jib, whatever you want to call them, on the front here and follow that halyard up to the lowers is, you know, it wasn't even an option before. Now it's sort of all integrated into the system. We have our forestay, which is now, you know, in, and it's bulletproof, strong, stiff. You don't even think about it. It's great not having to think about it. And also the ability to have our pole out the front, which is absolutely grunty and then some, with no whisker stays, no water stays, nothing to drag in the water or get hooked up and interfere with anchoring or anything like that, is honestly priceless. It is so easy to anchor and do anything at the front end here of the boat. You'll see our bridle is attached to our mooring cleats, so you know our mooring cleats aren't there for just show. They are always being used. We don't have anchor bridle shackles and all the rest of it. Everything on our boat gets put away when we go sailing, so that it is just a sailing boat. We don't want to drag bridles around while we're sailing. We don't want to drag the anchor around while we're sailing. For me, if it's a sailing boat, you make it a sailing boat. You put stuff away to have it as a sailing boat. So again, being able to set your boat up as a sailing boat, for me, is crucial. I don't want it to be an anchoring boat when I'm sailing, and it doesn't need to be a sailing boat when I'm anchored. So to be able to change the configurations around a little bit is great. Yeah, so there's a video showing how we take all of this anchor off when we're sailing for long passages. It gets all the weight off the front end, helps us out a lot, and it's noticeable. You know, that's 25 kilos, man. What else have we got at the front end here? I don't know. The bows, future project upgrade, but that's down the track. That's going to create some comments, I bet. Yeah, I don't know how much more I can talk about the front end here. Yeah, Dagger Boards. Okay, we've got our Dagger Boards here. You can see that the Dagger Boards, they have markings on them. Another crucial part, if you've got a boat with Dagger Boards, mark them. If you don't mark them, you don't know how far up they are down. You know, that's one of the cool things with the Dagger Boards that do come above the deck, is visually you know exactly how far they are in the water because it's relative to how far they are out of the water. And having great big numbers or markings, you could have ABC on there, doesn't matter. For us, the 1, the 1.5 and the 1.9, that's our draft. So there with the 1.0, the tip of the Dagger Board is currently 1 meter below the surface of the water. 1.9 means that we're 1.9 meters below the surface of the water. So not only does it tell me how deep I am and settings, so if I found a setting that works well while reaching and a setting that works well while upwind, I can go straight back to my settings that I find are good. Not only can I do that, but also if I'm going through somewhere I'm not sure how deep it is, I can look at my sounder and reference back that my boat is now 1.9 my boat is now 1.9 meters deep, or it's 1 meter deep. So, you know, trying to cover two birds with one stone here. Yeah, what else can I say about the Dagger Boards? Well, it's everyone's asking, can this be a whole series? Yes, one day it will be a whole series about the Dagger Boards and how much they go up and down, because it seems that these things seem to confuse people. They shouldn't. They're quite a simple thing, but they seem to confuse people a lot. And there are a few tricks to it, but they're not that hard once you figured it out, that they are the grip under the water, and they can change the feel of your boat a lot, whether you put more or less grip. Yeah, once you figure it out, it's a really good thing. Chain plate, still existing starboard chain plate. Well, everyone's seen the port one and the whole thing, so this is the next upgrade that is happening soon and shortly. So that's it for most of the outside and deck area. In the next one we'll have a look at the rig, because that's our beastie all on its own. Anyway, see you on the next one.